Good morning, all. Thank you for joining this session. It's early Sunday and I value your time. So, today we will be seeing a Spark submit in PySpark. This is what we generally do in production environments. And if you're joining this session for the first time, what I would suggest you is you need to go through this video first, which we have done, which I have taken a demo last time so that you will understand what we are trying to do in this. I will share the link of that video in this video description. So let's make a move. What we have done last week, just a brief recall. So we were reading the data from unstructured data, okay, and we have make use of PySpark regular expressions to write the code in PySpark. Let me quickly execute this code and show you the output. So this code is getting executed. Let it get executed. And if you see in the bottom, the logs are running. Okay, it will start running and we are able to see the data. So this was what we have done in the last session. So today what I will do is we will write this data to Hadoop and we will see how to implement Spark Submit. Again, we will write the data to RDBMS and see how the Spark Submit command change. Okay, let's get started. So now what I would do is first I will write the data to Hadoop. So in our course, we would be writing this data to ADLS. Okay, and it depends on requirement also. So data frame dot write dot mode. So mode is overwrite. There are different four modes which I would be letting you later. Okay, so which format you want to write? As of now, I'm going with CSV. Default is Parquet format. And finally, I'll try to see this data in Hadoop location. Okay, so let's give that path HDFS colon. So this is on my local host machine with a 9000 port. As I said in project, that local host will get replaced with your endpoint of the cluster and the port number of that cluster. For me, the location is this user, Ceph, HFS, and I will be writing the data to output. By default, Spark writes the data to a directory. Okay, so I will say this is my regular expression output. Let's get started and executing this piece of code. So the code is getting executed. The logs are ready to be started. Let it get started in the execution phase. And the data is seen and we are able to see the output. What I would do is I'll just quickly copy this path and I will go over here, clear the screen, HDFS -ls, and what I will do is, oh, this is the path. Let me remove this. So this is user, Ceph, HFS, and it should be output. We should see one directory with the name regular expression output. Yes, if you see, we are able to see that. So it is 30th March and the timing is 9:10, which we just did. What I will do is I will just try to view the data. Okay, so HDFS DFS -cat user Ceph HFS output, okay, regex underscore op. What I can do is before viewing the data, I will show you it creates one part directory and one success file and one data. Okay, now what we will do is we will try to view the data. HDFS DFS -cat. What I would do is, yeah, let's copy this, let's paste this, and because I would be running this multiple times and I don't want, so I'll just make use of, again, here also in Unix also we have regex pattern, so I'll make use of asterisk anything which is there, and I will just try to see first 5 rows. Let's execute this. If you see, we are able to see the data. That's what we are able to see in this structured format. All good. Okay, so it means we are good to go. So we are able to write the data to Hadoop. Now I will write the Spark submit. So I'll start with a very basic Spark submit, and then based on the actual requirement, like how we write, I'll transform into that. I'll go to the terminal. Okay, I just drag this a little up so that you can have a big view. So what we do is we just write Spark -submit. Okay, and what is the code which we have written. So this is a .py, which is a .python code, which includes Spark, and this is the file name, which, so I'll just write and press a tab. Okay. Now what I will do is, as this file is available, as this directory is available, I will quickly remove this directory. Okay, I'm removing this directory. Let's verify, is it available or not? You should get an error, no such file or directory. Yes. Let's execute this. So it is getting executed. Okay, it has successfully completed. Let's go back. Let's verify the file is available, directory is available. Yes. Let's verify the data is available. Yes, the data is also available. Okay, so this is a very simple Spark submit command. Okay, generally we don't write this, we write a lot of things. Okay, and let's start building that. Okay, let me go back. Before that, what I'll do is, for retesting, again I will remove this directory. I don't have this directory. Cool. Let's clear the screen. So what I will do is, I will write spark hyphen submit. Okay. Now what we do is, we pass master. As of now, I'm trying to use all the local resources, but in project you will be seeing over here, okay, the Spark and the endpoint or the cluster name. Okay, cool. Then hyphen hyphen deploy mode. Okay, so in development we go for client mode, and in in production we go for cluster mode. As of now, as it's my local resource, I will go with client mode. Hyphen hyphen driver memory. Okay, so for now I'm just trying to use my resources from this machine, which I know, so I'm just allocating 4 gigs of RAM. Then executor memory, okay, where your task will be running in parallel. Okay, as of now mine is a single cluster on this machine, so I'm just trying to give a minimal, but in projects it's a huge, somewhere near, like we give 8 GB 10 GB, okay, based on the resources allocated. Okay, so executor memory I have given. Then how many executors want, so you will write number of executors. As I told, it's a single machine. As of now I'm going with 1. Then what are the cores inside that, so executor cores. Okay, so I'm just trying to use 4 threads. And finally you need to provide your code name, or the code or the file in which your code is available. Let's get executed. So this is getting executed again. If you see, the logs have started running. Okay, let's wait. I'll just drag this a little up so that we can have a good view. It is getting executed. Looks good, looks good. We saw the data. Yeah, let me just quickly just run up. Is there any error? No error. Let's verify the data. Earlier when I was executing this ls command, what I was getting, no such file or directory. After running Spark submit, let's see, are we able to see? Yes, we are able to see. Let's verify the data. Let's cat the data. Awesome, we are able to see the data also. So it means that, okay, a Spark submit is running perfectly. The only thing is the parameters which I have given over here, okay, that needs to be changed, okay, based with the production environments. But for now, this is a perfect Spark submit command. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just clear off the screen. So the first step is done, that is writing the Spark submit in Hadoop. Now what I will do is I will show you one more scenario. Let me go over here and let me open a database which I have installed, that is MySQL database for practice purpose. Okay, and let me use my database which I have created, and let me say show tables. As of now I don't see any tables which is related to regular expression, so I need to write the data from my PySpark code, okay, in this database. In projects you would be writing to Teradata, Oracle, Netezza, Vertica, depends. Okay guys, So let's start building this code. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just start building this code. It's very easy. We just need to change few formats here and there and we are good to go. Okay, so let's write data frame name dot write dot format. Earlier we were writing the data in Hadoop, so it was CSV. Now it would be JDBC. Okay, so that is using Java database connectivity. Now here we need to provide options in the form of key and in the form of value. Okay, so what is the key? So the first is oh, 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 oh. So the first is URL. What is the URL? Okay, so with the JDBC connection, okay, on a MySQL database, okay, on this machine, that is localhost, with a default port of 3306, which database? Ceph database. And just ignore this, guys, because this is SSL exception I get on this virtual machine, but we will not get into the projects. Okay, but if we get, yes, we need to find a root cause, and as of now this is my machine's issue. Okay, then we need a driver to be written. Okay, again in the sorry. So again, what I will do is I'll use option again in the form of key and in the form of value, and these keys will never change. They are always constant, guys. So I will write driver. So I'm using a latest version of MySQL. So com.mysql.jdbc.driver. If it would have been lesser than 5, so you would have removed this and you will get this easily on Google. After that, one more option. Okay, when we are trying to write one more option, again in the form of key and value, guys. What is the key? So now the user. So the user is root. Guys, I'm hard coding the values, but in projects we try to keep this in a place where we can call this from. Okay, that I will see later. So what is the password for this? I have kept a generic password so that if students forgot, it's easy for me to recall them. Okay, and finally what I will say is option in the form of which table you want to write, that is database table. As of now I don't have. Please create one table with the name of regex underscore table. Okay, and do you want to save? Yes, I want to save. Okay, so let's execute this. Again the code will get, let me show this entire piece of code. Yeah, again this will run. Okay, it will read the data from that unstructured data, that is a log file. Using regular expression that we have written in PySpark, it will transform the data, and now we are writing the data to database. Where are we writing, guys? To database. Beautiful. So we are able to read the data. Looks good. Exit code 0. That's a good sign. Beautiful. Let's go over here, execute show tables. Are we able to see something regex? Yes. If you see this, let me fetch the data. Select all the rows from regex underscore table. Yes, we are. Let me just minimize a little font size so that you can view the data. Can we see? We are able to view the data. All good. So we are able to write the data. Okay, now what we will do is we will use Spark Submit. Okay, and we will try to write the data using Spark Submit. Okay, so now you should know how to write the Spark Submit because I've just recently shown. And let me rewrite that code again. Okay, so I'll just pull up that code. If you see Spark Submit hyphen master local, as I said in project, it will be Spark with some port number. Deploy mode I'm using on the client because I'm in the development environment. Driver memory. Okay, so driver is your master program. So it's a master slave architecture. Executors are where your task gets executed. How many executors should be launched by the cluster manager? What are the number of threads should get executed in parallel? Okay, and finally your code name. All looks good. Let me hit this. So it is getting executed. Let it get executed. So we are able to see the data. Okay, it looks good. Ideally I was expecting an error, but that's okay. We'll do one thing, okay. I wanted to show you one more thing, so let me just count the records, okay. So as of now, if you see, there are 5 rows, and I will just add one thing, that is mode, because I need to show you one error and how to actually what we do in project. That is what I want to show. Append. So let me run this code again. So now we should expect that, okay, the data in that table should be 10 rows, the earlier 5 rows, and this is the new 5 rows. So in total, 10 rows we should expect. Okay, let's go back. Can you see 10 rows are there? But ideally, what I was expecting is this Spark submit should have failed. I'll show you why it is getting successfully completed. So let me go to my Linux prompt. Let me come one step back and go to jars folder, and if you see, I have a MySQL jar over here. Okay, that's okay. Now what I will do is I will jump to my Spark home jars, which I know, okay, and I will try to find out the MySQL jar. Okay, because of this it is getting succeeded, which I have done in my batches, so hence it is not. So let me remove this. Okay, so I'm removing this jar. Now if you see, this jar is not available. Okay, now if you go back, the data, if you see, it's 10 rows. Let's go to the terminal, okay, and clear off the screen and execute the Spark submit. Now the expectation is it should throw an error. It was executed successfully previously, but I want to show you errors, because as a developer, you will always face challenges. You should know how to solve those challenges. You should know how to work as an IC, that is individual contributor. You should know how to find ways. Okay, so let me scroll up. Can you see there is some error, which is a Java error? What it is telling us is it is not able to find this driver. Earlier, if you see, it was successfully completed, but now I have removed this. Okay, now the thing is how we can bring this jar. Okay, there are like couple of approaches. So if you go to this, I'm just going to a browser. It's very easy, guys. Let me quickly go to the browser. So the browser is taking a little time to come up. That's okay, no problem. Let it be. There is a repository, okay, and that repository is called Maven repository, guys. You need to go over here. Once you go to Maven repository, okay, click on this first link. Okay, and here you need to type MySQL jars. Can you see? I have already done for my previous projects or previous batches, so I am able to get all those over here. Okay, so I'll just write MySQL jars and I'll press enter. Okay, you should go to the first one. So let's click on the first one. Now if I scroll a little down, okay, so now if you see, the version is like this. Okay, if you want to test which are your versions, okay, what you can do is you can quickly execute the command like MySQL -- version, because always, guys, the versions always plays a very important role, because if the dependencies are not matched, your code will not work. Okay, but again, like here I can take anything, but just to be on the safer side, I'm just trying to go for this 8.2.0. Click on this. Now there are two approaches to download this jar. Okay, so I'll show you both the approaches. Let's click on this, whether it's not going. Okay, so if you see, I'm in this. So the first approach is, okay, if you see this jar, okay, if you click over here, automatically it will start downloading. It's very easy, straight and simple. Okay, but what I will do is I'll show you one other approach. So if you see this, click view all. So I'm clicking on this view all option. And one page should open up, and can you see this jar name, guys? So I'll just right click on this and I'm just copying the link address. Okay, and what I will do, can you see here, if I'm executing this code, there are no jars available. Okay, either you can directly do over here, or else what I will do is I will go to home, save, and I'll go to downloads directory. Okay, and if you see, I will just try to execute a command wget, and I'll paste this and hit this. So can you see it has started downloading the jar? successfully completed. Let me do again ll. Okay, so the new jar which we have downloaded is, okay, so 30th March, where is this? So this was the 8.2.0. Did we download it this to correct wget? So again, yes, if you see 8.2.0, again, like, it has been overwritten. Or let me do one thing just to show you in a nice way. Let me remove this rm MySQL. Okay, so the jar is now, if you see, there is no jar related to MySQL. Let me execute this wget command. Okay, let me execute the ll again. Can you see this MySQL jar? Yes, it is available. Now what you can do is, either in projects, what happens is, okay, I'll copy this. I'll copy this, okay, what is that MySQL jar, and I will take this into a location, so that is nothing but home save lfs jars location. Okay, so here I have kept the jar now. Okay, so control shift c, cd, control shift v, and if you see, the jar should be available now. Can you see the jar 8 point? So this is the jar which we took today. Okay, so this is how. Now what we need to do is, we need to copy this path. Okay, and let me go to over here, clear the screen. Now there are two ways, again two ways, there are multiple ways to do. Either you can put that absolute path, home save lfs jars, okay, and paste that path. Okay, and let me hit this. One approach is this: either you can put in, oh, there is an error. Let's understand what the error. It is telling no class, please specify. Okay, I think I made some mistake. Let me just clear the screen. So I missed one property that I need to give, that is a class which says jars. Let's hit enter. Okay, so it is getting executed. So we should not see that error which we were trying to see, the error that is no suitable driver or no suitable class found. So guys, you will get these errors, and these errors is part of developer's job. Okay, so either you can give the absolute path in the jars location, because your code gets migrated from the dev environment to your QA environment and prod, so all these directories gets migrated. Okay, so either you can keep it over there, okay, or else you can keep it, okay, in the home directory of Spark. As I told you, it's up to you, wherever you can, both will work. But now for us, the scenario has worked. Let's see the output. Can you see, earlier it was 10 rows. Okay, so if you see, earlier it was 10 rows, now it is 15 rows. So it means a Spark submit command is working, okay, with Hadoop file system, okay, as well as with your databases. And we saw how to download the jar from Maven repository, and we have also seen how to keep these jar files, okay, in your either Spark home location. Either you can keep in your Spark home location, or else you can create a directory in a project with the name jars, and all the required jars you can keep there, so that whenever it migrates from your development environment to QA and QA to prod, your codes will not get failed in the production environment, because the dependencies will be always available. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, if you like this video, do give a like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube, so that you can receive multiple notifications if I am trying to upload videos. Okay, and stay connected. Thank you so much. Take care and see you soon.